Hi, this is Christian, and welcome back to NFL Updates Express, your weekly dose of NFL news. Coming your way, Week 16 predictions. In the Spotlight Game of the Week, it's the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Nissan Stadium to take on the Tennessee Titans. Now the Rams, they haven't officially clinched a playoff spot yet, but the way they've been playing, it's only a matter of time before they do with 2 weeks left in the season. The Rams completely throttled their NFC West rival in the Seattle Seahawks 42-7 as Todd Gurley dominated the Seattle Legion of Boom and the linebackers, including the injured Bobby Wagner and company, 42-7. It was just an incredible game for the Rams, and they look like a force in the NFC. And for the Tennessee Titans, well, they're still in the playoff chase, but the way they're headed right now, I would not be surprised to see them missing out on the postseason. Marcus Mariota has regressed this season, and he really needs to step up against a hot Rams team if they want to make the postseason, with the Jaguars coming up in Week 17, which could be a play-in game potentially for the Tennessee Titans. Who will win this game? Well, I think the Los Angeles Rams are the much better team. They've been playing great football, running the football well, and they've been getting their receivers involved with Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods. So I think the Los Angeles Rams take this one rather easily. Dylan's prediction is the Los Angeles Rams. In the second Spotlight Game of the Week, it's the Atlanta Falcons traveling to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome to take on the NFC South rival, the New Orleans Saints. Now the Saints, they had a pretty interesting win against the New York Jets. They should have beat them by a lot more than they did, and a late touchdown by Mark Ingram sealed the win for the Saints, but they really have looked rusty in the past 2 weeks against the Falcons in Week 14, and also this week against the Jets in Week 15. And so they'll really need to improve on the offensive side of the ball. I know Alvin Kamara, he's been a little dinged up with the concussion, and the team just doesn't really seem right on offense as much as they have, but they seem to get it back against an Atlanta Falcons team that is desperate for a win. Now the Falcons, they really need this. If they win this and in Week 17 beat Carolina at home, then they win the division, the NFC South, and get a home playoff game. But if they lose this game, they're in trouble of missing the playoffs entirely, with the Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys, and also Seattle Seahawks right on their backs for the last playoff spot in the NFC. Now, this game is going to be very close. I know the Falcons probably need it more, but the Saints haven't secured a playoff spot either, even though they do have Tampa Bay in Week 17. But overall, I just think the New Orleans Saints at home are the better team, and they're going to get the job done here and fix their offense. Dylan's prediction is the Atlanta Falcons. 2 playoff hopefuls on the fringe as the Seattle Seahawks take on the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium in the third Spotlight Game of the Week. Now the Seattle Seahawks, they got embarrassed, as I previously mentioned, to the Los Angeles Rams, and they certainly don't look like a playoff team, but they can be if they beat the Dallas Cowboys and then Week 17 defeat the Arizona Cardinals and then get some help from some NFC South rivals in the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints, because that means that the Falcons would finish 9-7 on the year, the Seattle Seahawks would finish 10-6 on the year, and most likely make the playoffs if the Detroit Lions happen to lose one of their last 2 games. So a lot has to go right for the Seahawks, but they can certainly make it, and who knows, with their pedigree, they could certainly do some damage in the postseason if they get their act together on the defensive side of the ball. Now for the Dallas Cowboys, they narrowly escaped Oakland when a piece of paper basically saved their season. It was a very close call for a potential first down situation, but instead they got the first down, and then after that, they're able to stave off a last-second drive by Derek Carr when he fumbled out of the back of the end zone and gave the Cowboys the narrow win. Now, who will win this game? Well, the Seattle Seahawks certainly aren't playing great, but I trust them a little bit more in this situation, despite the Cowboys with a couple of good wins so far in this back half of the year. So ultimately, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to end the Dallas Cowboys season and keep theirs alive. Dylan's prediction is the Seattle Seahawks. In the last Spotlight Game of the Week, it's the Buffalo Bills traveling to Gillette to take on the Patriots. Now the Patriots, well, we know it was one of the best games of the year, maybe one of the best finishes of the year. We already know Ben Roethlisberger threw an interception at the goal line to Daron Harmon. Where have we heard that before. Super Bowl 49. But anyway, the New England Patriots, well, they look on track for the number 1 seed once again. And for the Buffalo Bills, could they finally do it? Could they end the long playoff drought? They're the only professional sports team to not make it to their respective playoff in the 21st century. So could they do it? Well, they'll most likely have to knock off the New England Patriots to do so. And they'll be geared up and ready for this one. Now, it is very tough to beat Tom Brady, especially when they're playing for the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But I think the Bills could do it. Tyrod Taylor is clearly the best quarterback on the roster, as we know by now. And they certainly have LaShawn McCoy, who could be a huge factor in this game. Now, who will win this? I think the Bills are going to be poised and make this very close, but ultimately I have to take the New England Patriots to win at home. Dylan's prediction is the Buffalo Bills.
Not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours, so you better not be the one to doubt us, 'cause we gon' blow your mind. Blow your mind.
For the Christian Screw Team of the Week, it's the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the 49ers are eliminated from playoff contention, but they've reeled off 3 straight wins on the hands of Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's looked very impressive and looks like the quarterback of the future. Could the 49ers make the playoffs next year with their new quarterback? Well, we'll just have to find out and see. But the Team of the Week, the San Francisco 49ers. For the Rookie Report, it's Jaden Mickens, the wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now on Sunday, he had 4 receptions for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns versus the Houston Texans. And well, he has a great storyline as he was living in his car for a couple of weeks before arriving in Jacksonville. He's trying to save money to support his family, and well, he's had a great story, and maybe he can help the Jaguars win a couple of postseason games and even make a surprising trip to Super Bowl 52. It's time for the NFL Updates Express Power Rankings.
We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. When I was back home washing them dishes, I was just wishing I could just vision. I was gon' get it, I was on missions, I was just living. Walked in that building, we was just building, taking our time. We was just yielding, we was just chilling. Away from these haters, know they be watching like a theater. Yeah. Plotting these niggas that we need later. They gon' degrade us, it won't delay us. This is what made us. We got Omega, probably roll Vega. Probably just leave. I see you later. I salute Wega, cop a new crib, got some new neighbors. You get this big, they gon' want favors, they gon' want flavors. Probably roll baby. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these haters, hope the Lord save us.
For the Week 15 recap, my record prediction was 13-3 with a 63.4% on the year, which comes out to 142 games correct and 82 games wrong. And Dylan's comes out to 11-5 this week with a 57.6% on the year and 129 games correct and 95 games incorrect. The most entertaining game was the Patriots over the Steelers, and the upset of the week was the 49ers over the Titans.